Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our poetry podcast for the day. We do have a special guest on. It is Blake from Blake's High Thoughts. He is a very talented, ambitious, inspirational poet who also does more for the community, for veterans, for mental health awareness, and just all around an amazing person. We are honored to have him on the show today, and we will let him introduce himself.
Thank you, Rainstorm. I really appreciate that. My name is Blake Sims from Blake's High Thoughts, and I'm a writer now. I did 13 years in the military as an Apache mechanic, and after I was retired medically from that, I decided to get into poetry, and that's where we are now.
I know it's kind of awkward, but it's kind of awkward not to say it, so I want to say thank you for your service. I know it does mean a lot to everyone. And read some of your poetry, listened to some of your spoken word, and you have such a talented voice. It's so inspiring. So what inspired you to start writing?
Oh, absolutely. So it started when I was really young. I started in 7th grade. My English teacher, her name was Miss King. She introduced me to poetry. She gave me a little book that I still have to this day, a short collection of Edgar Allan Poe's works. I think it's like one of the ones you get at a book fair. And so I read that. The things I went through in my childhood, I kind of used my writing, and I was convinced I was going to be a writer and save the world. But I quit writing when I went into high school because it wasn't cool to be a writer back then. And so I didn't write until probably the last year when I was getting out of the Army. I went through a mental health break. I lost my father, and writing drew me back. No, this is not TikTok. So later on in the interview, I'm sure we'll talk about it. But I had writing saved my life, and that's how I got back into it. And I started on TikTok posting pieces of my writing, and that's when I decided to release a book because I had always wanted to write a book when I was younger. Now I have the opportunity, now that the military retired me, I have the opportunity to chase after that dream.
That is very inspiring. I'm glad to hear that you are making that dream come true, because you are definitely talented, and everyone needs to hear your words. And I'm very sorry about your loss. My world shattered when I lost my mom, so I completely get that. Who is your biggest inspiration now?
Man, I would have to say there's so many. I have so many inspirations. I'd probably say my inspiration for my work now would be the reason I write now is for my kids, and then for overall just to help others that struggle with mental health. For literary inspiration, probably almost everybody on TikTok that I'm friends with. We have such a great community on there of super talented poets that it's like I have no problem ever finding something to write about, because I read somebody else's and I'm like, oh my gosh, like that's an amazing way to put that, and it just spurs inspiration. And then as I like craft whatever I'm trying to write, whether it's a poem, everything usually always starts out as a poem. I recently got into songwriting, so now I do it kind of with that. But it's just once the inspiration hits me, then I'm engrossed in it. But I'd say follow for like published authors. I'd say what's his name, Sin, R.H. Sin, I think is his name. His stuff's very inspiring to me for contemporary. And then for past, Owen Shakespeare's what I modeled my book after, and they were the probably the biggest like literary stylistic that I pulled from. I liked Shakespeare's melodic and acts and his way to build a story into more than a story. And then I liked Poe's gothic / dark / thinking being able to take a look at mental health. I think he was the first one that really did that. Yep.
Definitely all very inspiring people, and I agree with, finding that inspiration. If you have a moment and you're just like, I can't think of anything to write, and then you get on TikTok or one of the other social medias and you hear other people's words, and it's just like, there's your inspiration right there to hear words that mean so much and express so much, written and spoken so powerfully.
Yes, ma'am. I think that's the beauty of writing, and why I really enjoy all the such as yourself, all the people that I've met, because of sometimes people. I mean, writing is writing, but I think all of us understand that that's a lot of times that's somebody. 99.9% of the time, that's somebody's blood, sweat, and tears that they've crafted into a piece of art that in one edge is just beautiful, and you love to, you're like, oh my gosh, that's such a beautiful way they put that. And then on the other hand, you're like, oh wow, but usually for something to be that lived in, it means it was steeped in pain. But yeah, I really like that. I really like all the friends. Like all you guys are so. But it sucks because I know the pain. It's like oh, beautiful writing. Like yeah, thanks. I had to live it.
Right. For me, it's awkward sometimes to commend somebody on their writing, because at the same time that you want to tell them how amazing it is, your heart aches for them because of that experience.
Sometimes I just do I'm guilty of just using emojis because I'm like, oh my god, like, it's like, I'll just put my black hearts on there because it's because, it's beautiful. But then you're like, oh my, just the content, you're like, oh, my heart hurts. Like, you shouldn't be able to write sentences about that subject. That's what it is. But that's what's beautiful about art, is it gets people's stories out there, and it allows change, it allows people to heal. I love writing.
And it definitely tells in your work, which we will be sharing all of your links on the website as well, so everybody knows where to find your stuff. And when your book comes out, definitely have to share that link so we can get more copies sold, not just as a number, but because your words are very inspiring and they will help so many people. So.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Do you have a poem or two, or a song that you would like to share with us today?
Absolutely. I will share two, if you'll let me, and I have them both queued up. Whenever you give me the go ahead.
That would be perfect. I would love to hear both of those, and whenever you're ready.
This is called Superstar. The curtain's falling down all around me. The chants keep getting louder and louder. Around thoughts as far as the eye can see, all waiting for me to spin them another sad yarn. Mix my inkwell with grief and dip my quill in gunpowder. Use my pain and heartache as rungs in your ladder. Load my periods and commas into this well-used worn shotgun. Blast my insecurities in agony and sense as I scream to help you mourn. I know what you all need. A narcissist with a broken smile that's even sadder. A lost boy who wishes sometimes he was never born. Set my pen down next to an ode to legends gone too soon and forgotten. I pack scraps of my plague froze with trauma from my own powder horn. I light all these works on fire until they become like an explosive dying star. No more ministers or minstrels are needed to make this look less careworn. I yell into microphones on stages to crowds of people searching for the next superstar. Thousands are begging for an encore, just a small slice of my soul to satiate their misery. If I sew myself back together, will I still cut my sutures open to be able to feel? Too many holes from dead friends' knives. Donate my dead body to a stitchery. Cover me in clay. Perform ancient witchery to finally help me heal. Put me on a pedestal. Sacrifice me as a saint. Put my broken heart in a reliquary. Barter with my talent. Use my suffering as a currency in an unfair handshake deal. Condemn me for life as nothing more than a forgotten antiquary. Erase memories of simpler times. I'm just the next superstar you see dying on a newsreel. Very yellow light. Sometimes it gets so dark inside even the spotlight looks dim. I'm entertaining the masses with my anguish, bleeding my pain in a faster rhythm. The EKG stops beeping, intertwining the flat line with my voice and antonym. Lay out my feelings, layer them together into an algorithm. If everyone loves me, will I finally feel like I'm enough? Can I finally beat the man in the mirror who keeps tearing me apart? I wear these bands on my wrists like handcuffs. Take my hands off the wheel around 90. It's up to you, God, to drive this car. Sing my songs and scream my words till I'm hoarse. I'm just another lost voice, performing for your entertainment. Just the next dying superstar. Peace.
Sorry, that was so powerful. It took me a moment to, I've got cold chills. And that's not the first time I've heard you say that piece, but it is a very powerful piece. People don't realize that it's not just, like we were talking about, it's not just entertainment. It's words from broken hearts and souls who have mended and healing or even struggling to still overcome those things in life, because just because they're in the past doesn't mean that they don't still seep in sometimes.
Yes, ma'am.
That was extremely powerful. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yes, ma'am.
You have another one?
I do. And so this is called, we'll do this one. This one's called Good Job, Hangman. And it's actually I guess you could call it the sister piece of Superstar. Trophies and plaques adorning my walls. I disguise myself with shining accolades. Wearing this uniform with all my medals, I can be proud when my brothers are alive. I numb myself with newspaper clippings and hero parades. Drink from the fountain of misery to help bring back all these ghosts back inside. Wax on, wax off, my hands are pressed up against the window pane of my life. Cold and alone from being trapped forever, looking in from the inside. Lie down these prescriptions and taste the familiar flavor of cyanide. Poison myself and the side effects mimic an incurable disease on the outside. Compliments and comments, more love than I've ever felt. How can you love others when you can't even love yourself? Publish a manuscript titled Memento Mori. Use stoic lines intentionally misspelled. I dream of a moment when instead I can pen something resembling Memento Vivere. What happens when you believe you were never enough? When addiction chased with sadness was the closest you could ever get to happiness. When you're a man, sexual abuse isn't something you're allowed to rebut. Smile, this picture-perfect family photo isn't supposed to show your own ghastliness. Society's preferred vision is a trope that tightens the metaphorical handcuff. You're supposed to sacrifice your soul to this corrupt corporation of manliness. Oh my gosh. I refuse to be silent anymore and watch this world burn in effigies to false narratives. Lists of my accomplishments, a resume of all my failures typed in business format. Internal dialogues with myself emailed so the masses can watch me bleed. Adorn the walls of my childhood home with my fears, use my heart as a welcome mat. What if no one cried at their funeral? Is memory loss what they need? Back again, staring at the mirror. Please stop calling Mom, I swear I'm fine. I just have to scream these sentences into the corpse of what I could never be. Words of affirmation dripping from mouths of hungry wolves waiting to dine. Serve my love language as a last meal to the universe for all to see. See, the whole world can enjoy the bitter taste of my loss and my grief. My only dinner companions, all the different ghosts of the ones who truly loved me. I wake up to the smell of coffee and bacon cooking on the cast iron, a baseball bat and glove, sit next to a book on how to stop generations of abuse. My dad's smiling and telling me that he's proud of what I became. I spun so many fables my message can come across as abstract and obtruse. I spill so much of my own blood into my sad story of art that it turns purple. I use makeup and a tired smile to hide the black and blue of the bruise. I'm always picking at the scabs on my heart until my wounds begin to throb. I sing these songs and dirges until my emotions start to have the same effect as booze. I just want to hear a voice from the grave saying good job as I start the slow dance with death and put my neck for the last time in this news. Peace.
Again, a very, very powerful piece. Thank you so much for sharing. And, you know, people, you know, like you said, we're picking at the scabs when we what's the word I'm looking for? Sorry. When we recite.
Like relive it.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it's because that's, you know, all the, you know, there's, as a fellow poet, you know, there's lines that we pen that, you know, not necessarily throw away, but we use it to get to the next part of the stanza. But the story that's woven within our words is, you know, we relive them when we recite it, as we do. I think we get better, you know, because we get more desensitized to our own pain, I think. Sometimes. But now I'm just rambling.
I think we all just ramble. That's what makes us a good poet. It's not really just rambling. It's important words and thoughts and all woven into one.
That's awesome. I like that. Thank you. That's what I think too. I'm like, you know, I also have the people should know that the book has the help of a Corey. He is the co-author of the book. His name is Biscuit. He's my service dog.
I have seen Biscuit, and Biscuit is adorable. So definitely glad to have Biscuit in the works.
Yeah, he is a chunk. I plan on once, I'm gonna try to look into like a couple things to whenever I roll out the book. But I have some stickers I'm gonna put in with there'll be Biscuit stickers that we're gonna make and put in there for like I don't know. I gotta figure out the rollout. I know I'm going on Amazon, but I want to do like I'll probably just buy like a whole bunch of copies, and then if people want like you know oh my gosh, autographed. I was gonna say signature. I don't think that's a word. Autographed copies. I think I'll ship them that, and they can have like maybe I can make some like bookmarks or something with Biscuit's crazy face on it.
That would be awesome. And signatured is a word because you just said it.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
I have a philosophy on that. And since I was a kid, black and blue in the face, you know, ain't isn't a word, y'all isn't a word because it's not in the dictionary. Well,
yeah.
You know, the grass is purple. What do you mean the grass is purple? No, it's not. It's green. Well, what makes you think it's green? Because it's the color described as green. But that was one person's consensus and everybody agreed.
Yeah.
So that's what made it the color green. So how do we know that everybody didn't just jump off the cliff after the wrong person?
Yeah. Dude, I like that. Oh my gosh. I've heard that my whole life. Like, I feel you on that. It's like, I've heard that my whole life. It's like, why?
because it is. Just because anybody's never heard it doesn't mean it's not a word.
I like that.
You should put it in the dictionary. I don't know how you would do that, but yeah. It should be.
I'll email Mary.
Is there anything else you would like to share with our listeners today? I know you have some projects that you work on that if anybody would be willing to help out, that would be amazing.
I think the only I'd share the one last thing I'd share about the book is that 50% of all profits from the book are going to veteran non-profits to combat 22 a day, which is the cause behind which I'm so why I started the book. So that, and also I like to do spotlight videos on people. I thought about taking it. I'm on Facebook and TikTok as far as the spotlight videos of the people I look for. And I just find people that are doing either good in their, either I think they're doing good for the world, or if it's something I enjoy or I had an amazing experience with them, or if it's just, or if their talent, everything doesn't coincide with the level of people that are, looking at them. I'm like, wow. So I'll do a spotlight video and shine light on musical artists, or creators on TikTok, and then poets. And I recently started doing, gonna do like books. I'm gonna read people's books, like novels. There we go, actual novels. Doing like a review per se of the person's novel as well. Just try to combat all the negativity in the world with just a little bit of positivity, because I think that's all we need. Just a helping hand for people.
I absolutely love that. I've got to listen to and watch a few of your spotlights, and I have always, looked up to you for that, because like you said, there's so much negativity in this world, and so many people are stepping on each other to get to the top, and I feel like we should raise each other up, because we all have a voice. We just have to find it in ourselves and be confident enough to let it out.
Yep, absolutely. I love how you said that. That was amazing. You're on my list too, Rain. To get your book. That's the only like rough part is now we know so many. It's just there's so many talented poets. When we used to do the lives together, I just get blown away by the level of talent, and then it just reminds me of Edgar Allan Poe, him sitting on a bench, and all his great works and all his stuff, and nobody knew who he was. It's just so important to get people's stories out there. It's not just art; it's their stories before they're lost.
I absolutely agree with that 100%. And that would be an honor. I feel like, sometimes I'm not in my league whenever I'm listening to such amazing poetry such as yours and many of the others.
But you're definitely in the league, Rainstorm. It's about the emotion of the content within the poem. That's like my English teacher, all of our English teachers would be so mad at us, because so many of us use like basically free verses, like stylistic like choices of how we, or stylistic's a bad word, but it's like I always call it stylistic because it comes across, once you hear somebody recite their poetry, you're like, oh, I totally understand now, like how your poetry is, because it's almost like hearing them talk. is the way I tell people. I love hearing people recite their poetry.
I do as well, and you're right. I don't do very much poetry that's, this many stanzas and this way or that way. I write just to.
Yep, you tell your story, and that's what all of us that I think that enjoy poetry and like the arts. That's what we're coming to read your stuff. I really enjoy your work, Brainstorm. You should be confident in your work, Will. It's good. It elicits emotion, and that's what.
I'm working on it. So.
I gotcha. I love this. I think that's cool. I think, and you have you can. There's some interesting characters out there you can interview. Oh man. So, but I'll keep talking. I'll keep pulling us off.
You're absolutely fine. Is there anything else that you would like to share with our readers before we conclude? Listeners?
No, do what?
And listeners? Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Oh man. No. Yep. Hopefully you guys enjoyed learning about me, and if you guys check me out, I promise if you comment or anything, I'm very good about getting back with my fans, I guess, as I can call it now, or my readers. I plan on doing a lot more videos and stuff, so yeah, if you guys check me out, I would really appreciate it.
You heard that, everyone. Go check him out if you've not already. Blake is amazing. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to listen to our poetry podcast. You can also read a summary and get links to his amazing work with his social profiles on the website. And I hope that everyone has a blessed day.